Money Monster is, it's a real thrilling ride. I mean, it's a real genre film, and I'm not known for genre films. My other films have really been personal movies, and in some ways have been a real reflection of things that I've been through and that I've done. So this is a bit of a departure for me, but I think that, as always, the thing that was the most exciting about it was the relationship between these people, the tapestry of these people, the brotherhood that grows between these two men. How this one man, Lee Gates, played by George Clooney, how this one man starts off one way as a kind of shallow, smug, empty guy who really feels like he's, even though he's successful in his work, is really a failure in terms of in his eyes and in everybody else's eyes. How he, over the course of this story, over the course of this adventure and this sort of terrible moment, rises to the occasion and really finds his humanity and grows up and evolves and changes. And it's that to me is the most exciting part of the story. And yes, there's some cops and helicopters and guns and bombs and fast-paced excitement and all of that. But ultimately, the real jewel in it is the relationship between these two men and this woman, in some ways, that is played by Julia Roberts, who is producing Lee Gates, George's survival. Lee Gates is kind of a metaphor in some ways for what it feels like to be an actor or a performer, where you're kind of schizophrenic. There's part of you that's the showman and part of you that knows how to manipulate and understands the power of media. And then the other person who feels broken and unknown to themselves because they don't trust themselves, because they don't know who they are. And I think that George was really able to bring the nuance of that, really able to understand that. I think he understands it because he lives in that world, where he represents so much to so many people, and he does know the power of that. And he, he's a movie star, and he's a movie star who quietly is unafraid to, look at the darker sides of himself, at the smaller sides of himself. Kyle goes, he has such a big trajectory. He starts off incredibly angry and threatening, and he wants justice. He wants an answer. He knows he's not going to get his money back. He wants an answer to what happened to his money. He wants it to make sense because he's a failure and he did everything right. So, give me a reason why I'm a failure. I don't understand how this happened. And I think through the course of the film, I think we're expecting that Kyle will receive justice. I think this film is an interesting combination of being able to be an accessible mainstream popcorn movie for all those obvious reasons, but it forces you to learn at the same time about something that's quite complicated. You have to be, I think it really challenges you to be as smart as you can to follow the characters, and it's incredibly relevant. It's not an old-fashioned film, and it really it's challenging. Its tone is challenging. There's humor in the film, and there's the cynicism of looking at our social political world today. So hopefully it has those two things.